Well, karma is a rhymes with which. My last video here on my 1969 Mustang fastback, probably heard me bragging about how I've had the car for 20 years now and the engine runs great, doesn't burn or blow oil, and it's just awesome. And unfortunately, that were fateful words. Right after I made that video and posted it, I took it into the shop for some routine electrical stuff, and my mechanic, who I trust implicitly, came to me and said, "Chris, I hear some knocking in the engine." And it turns out that I'd been leaking oil out through the valve covers and hadn't noticed it. I hadn't checked the oil level probably since middle of summer. This was 3 months later, and I was running a couple quarts low. And long story short, look at my brand new rebuilt 351 Cleveland motor. That's right, I had to do a complete tear down and rebuild of the engine, along with a bunch of other front end work that I kind of knew needed to be done, new shocks. Just the front end wasn't very stable. And then when I was getting ready to take the car home, I realized I didn't have much of a brake pedal, and then they did a bunch of brake work. So there's new brake master cylinder, shoes in the back, that whole thing. So the upshot is I've got basically a brand new motor now, and I guess I can't really complain. 20 years that I had it, and gosh knows how long before that, before the motor had been overhauled. So, you're redoing your motor once every 30 years. I guess you're not doing too badly. But that, I guess, will be my investment in the next 20 years of owning this car. Unfortunately, for those who watch my Cadillac videos, the series on that, what this means is that most of the money that I had set aside to do the paint and body work on the Cadillac has just gone into the Mustang. So that ain't gonna be happening for a while. Probably at least I was hoping to do it beginning of this year, probably going to be closer, maybe late this year, but more likely 2019. I'll tell you what, isn't it a pain? You get your car nice looking and it goes to the shop and always comes back just filthy. Just filthy. One of the deals when they were doing on this was I got them to agree to park it inside overnight, but that doesn't mean they parked it inside during the daytime. So, boy, just absolute garbage. Of course, you can't really wash your car yourself in Indiana in February. Your hose line will freeze, and I don't really like taking this through the car wash. So it'll just be dirty for a while. Maybe I can get some of that hand cleaner and do something. I will say this, so as you expect after dropping many thousands of dollars, is it does run great now with a new engine. Undoubtedly, probably the best it's ever run that I've had it. Smooth as silk. And I got a nice pretty engine bay. May have to repaint that old air cleaner. I repainted it when I first got the car, but now compared to the rest of the engine, it's looking pretty nasty. I don't know what to say. If you've owning a classic car is a labor of love. If you've owned a classic car, you know what that's all about. If you haven't, fair warning, there'll be times when the car just runs great for years on end. Doesn't seem like you have to do hardly anything to it other than change the oil and all that stuff. And then you'll have times like stuff like this happens, and it's just a big catastrophe. So labor of love, and sometimes it's all labor, no love.